All right, I think we'll get started. I know we'll probably have a few trickle in, but good morning, everybody. My name is Nikki Gatch. I'm Chief Operating Officer for the Southern California section. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is a partner webinar, and I'm pleased to introduce Gear Fisher. Gear is the co-founder of OnForm, and OnForm is a new tool that you'll see some demonstrations here that should help you as a coach, help you work more closely with your students, help you increase business, and make you an overall better coach. We do have some of our section professionals already using the product, and we're so thrilled to have OnForm on board as one of our newest section partners. And with that, Gear, I will hand it over to you. Gear, you're muted.
There we go.
Yep. Gear, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm going to run through a demo of the app today, OnForm video analysis and coaching app. We've got several thousand golf instructors using the platform now, and we're excited to partner with the Southern California PGA just so we can reach more folks and bring our tools to more people. If you have questions at all during this, please put them in the chat. My co-founder Krishna is also here, and he can chime in on some questions, and I'll pause every once in a while and see if there's questions in there to interact with. But without further ado, I am going to just dive in and start kind of showing you how our app works, and hopefully you'll see that essentially we've taken video analysis and communication tools and blended them together to give you an all-in-one tool to work with your students. So essentially this is the home screen of the app, and I'm literally demonstrating from my iPhone here live. We support both types of relationships that coaches typically have, teams, and I've got various teams and things that I've put in here, but primarily the way you'll use the app is one-to-one with your students. And so under individuals, you'll see all your students listed here. And we do things, we call it people first design. Essentially, you add your student, and then you'll record all your videos underneath that student. So you're not constantly taking a video, tagging it Bob Smith, take a video, tag it Bob Smith. We decided, let's give you the organizational capability to simply tap into like Bob Smith. And this is what we would call his workspace. And you can see he's a golfer. We haven't invited him to connect just yet in the app because our primary way to share is app to app, but you can ignore that for now. And we have these four main mechanisms in the workspace. So the chat is just like texting. It's a private messaging system where you can see all the messages and videos that you've shared back and forth with this particular student over time. The library is where you'll spend a fair amount of time. This is where you record videos, and every video that you've personally recorded will be here organized by date. And also any video that your student shares with you will also appear here too. So it aggregates everything about that student in this one place. So, I'm not on a lesson tee here in my basement office, but if I record a video, I start and stop, that video lands in the library, and you can see it will automatically start backing up to the cloud. Everything we do automatically backs up to the cloud. We're a cloud native app. So you don't have to choose, save it to a locker, keep it on the device. We manage all of that storage for you. We provide unlimited storage for you, and all your students use OnForm for free as well. So any student connected to you gets unlimited use of the app. They can take it to the range, record their own videos, share with you back and forth. But the very basic is these are videos that I've recorded over the last, months of this fake student, Bob Smith. Now, if I want to share this video, it's an important concept to understand. This is really your library of Bob Smith. Okay, so by default, these videos are private. So if I want to share this video, I long press it. So I'm literally going to hold my finger on it for just a half a second. Then I'm going to tap share, and up comes our sharing panel. I'm going to choose Bob Smith. He'll be at the top since that's the student you're working with. I could share this to virtually anybody in my OnForm universe, but I can simply hit send, and it puts that video in the chat between you and Bob. Bob will get an iOS notification. Coach Gear has shared a video with you. They'll tap on it just like any, like a regular text, but it'll open the app and they'll be able to watch and view the video like you'd expect. We also have a notes section. This is a private notes for you to record, any information you want. Could be sensitive information about your student, right? Maybe the wife's name is Sally, hits it fat all the time, whatever, really we're struggling with right hand grip. This is private to you. The concept is that between these notes and then the chat, if you don't see this student for 2, 3, 4 weeks, you can instantly pick up right where you left off, right? Check the notes. Hey, Bob, how's your wife, Sally, doing? And you can see the last video that you shared with them. So you can quickly pick right back up where you left off. And we try to help you with sort of a continuity of coaching here so that the student feels like, you're able to pay attention to them easily, and we keep that organized for you. Lastly, this is optional, but we also have the ability to add a lesson booking link. This is done in your profile, but essentially it surfaces your lesson booking website right here in this workspace between you and the student. Now, this is my personal OnForm demo booking link using Calendly, but you can use USchedule or Thrive Sports, whatever. We don't do the booking, to be clear. We're simply linking over to your booking website. The great thing about this is now all of your communication and the ability to book another lesson with you is basically right there in front of the student, at all times that they're using the app. And, one of the key things about the app as well is that it gives you one place to keep all of your golf stuff, so that you're not constantly having to go into text or you're in email. Same with a student, right? Like OnForm is all about golf. It is the place where you go. That's where I communicate with my coach. That's where you communicate with your students. And you can do that all, through the app. Now, I just gave you a quick summary of how we would record a video for a student, share it to that person, take some notes, etc. If I go back to home by clicking that home button in the upper left, you'll see I've got all of my students in here. So if I wanted to go to, maybe my next lesson is with Hannah, I tap on her name. I can go into the library. There's all the videos I've taken of her, right? I can check the chat. I haven't shared anything with her, but away you go. She shows up. I go to the library and I start recording. Okay. And if we take that back to the top, I'm going to go all the way back to home. Let's actually add a new student. So to add a student, you're going to tap that plus button in the upper right corner there. I'm going to say add person for one-to-one coaching. And you'll see the add person dialog comes up. We remember the sport and the role. And so I can add in Allison Johnson. Now, as I mentioned early on, the primary way we share videos is app to app. And so that's kind of like, it's like any other app messaging tool. If you wanted to message somebody over Facebook that was walking down the street, number one, that person would have to have Facebook. And number two, you have to be friends with them. So you have to somehow connect with them. Well, that's what this process is. You're going to add the student, Allison Johnson. When I hit next up in the top corner there, we now hand it over to you. Do you want to go ahead and invite Allison to connect with you? I'm going to say yes and send invite. It generates a unique link and hands it over to your own device's messaging tool. So I could text this to Allison where it says, please connect with me by tapping this link, or I could email it. I'm going to pick Gmail. I would just put in Allison's email and send that link, send this email off to her. She'll get the email, click the link. That link takes her directly to the App Store to install OnForm. She then logs in and it will come up and say, do you want to connect with Coach Gear? She says, yes. Boom, you'll get a notification that Allison has connected with you and you're off and running. So a key note here, this email is sent by you. It does not go through our servers. That was one of the improvements we kind of noticed. So it's much less likely to get caught in spam. You can adjust this, email any way you want. How's it going, right? It's literally an email coming from you. And so since Allison is fake, I'm actually going to discard this. I'm going to X out of that, but it'll still create the Allison Johnson workspace. It takes you immediately to the library because, we're assuming Allison's walking up on the lesson tee and you want to get right to it. So now I can start recording more great videos of my basement office here. And like normal, the video lands in the library, it automatically backs up, and then I can choose whether or not I want to share it. And you'll notice up at the top, it says 0 shared, 1 private to me. That means this video is still private. Allison does not see it. She won't see it until she accepts your invite and you choose to share this video to her. Okay. And so that's the main mechanism, right? So you'll notice the chat is empty. And if I go back to this library, if I long press, hit share, Allison's name is at the top. I can even say, welcome, right? Good job today. I don't have to leave a message, but I certainly can. And again, it's going to feel very familiar. It's basically like texting. That'll go into the chat. Now you can have a conversation back and forth with Allison about golf. Right. So, and there's no limits to the number of videos you can record. You can, basically keep everything you've ever needed about this person. And if you don't see them for a while, it's easy to come back and find them. I just go all the way back to home. I can scroll down to whoever and get going from there. Okay. I'm going to pause for a second, see if there's any questions, or maybe those have been handled so far. I don't actually have, here we go. Yeah, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I don't see any in there now, so I'm just going to keep plugging away. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the video analysis tools. I'm going to go back to Hannah. So I'm in her library, right? So to watch a video, I simply tap it. It's going to pull up the video. And this one happens to have body track data, which we're integrated with. I can move that little body track window around wherever I want. The yellow dot is the macro scrubber, as we call it, right? So I'm just sliding my finger backwards and forwards. The scroller down at the bottom is the micro, so frame by frame. So you can see I'm just sliding my finger across the screen here on that little wheel. I can, of course, play it in real time, or I can change the speed by tapping on the X button. So we give you very fine controls for that. The drawing tools are up here in the corner. Now, this is probably similar to other apps you've seen or used, similar kind of things. I can draw arrows and boxes. If I tap the icon again, it allows me to change it, and change it to a different color. So for example, this line with a dot is a line angle tool. So instead of having to measure an angle, it just measures the angle of whatever line you draw. And we've got timers, all kinds of cool things in there, similar things that you've seen in the past. If I tap on any one of these, I can edit where it goes, and away you go. Now, we also have the skeleton tracking feature that's on the upper left corner. You see the little gingerbread man, as I sort of call it. If I tap that, it will automatically, in real time with no waiting, place the skeleton feature on here so you can better visualize movement. And so that works with every video instantly, does not require any upload or even connection to the internet. It's all real time and is really useful, for looking at setup or anything you want to point out. Of course, I can pinch zoom this as well, and I can still use the drawing tools, so I could zoom in and really point out about her elbow or maybe her head, or whatever I want to do to get my point across. Now, also just a note with body track, if I double tap that graph, it will go to the vertical forces chart, and I can pinch zoom these to make them larger if you want. Okay, and if I double tap it again, it goes to the pressure, velocity, acceleration map here, and you can see that all coming through there as she hits impact, how etc. So just double tapping that, and you can also rotate this if you want to align it better with how she's actually standing in the video. Okay. Now, other things that you're probably going to do day to day, things like compare. You'll notice the word compare up at the top. I tap compare. I can tap add. And we try and make it as easy as possible to find the video that you want to compare with. So we first show you all recent videos that you've looked at. We show you files from a default folder that we provide called reference content, where you can store model swings, drills, videos, etc. We also show you videos from the student that you're on here, or you can come down and pull a video out of any team or individual library that you want in the app. Now, I often just use the reference content, so I could hit show all. I can even search this if I wanted. Like, I have some favorite videos that I starred. So I'm going to pull up, how about we pull up, I literally screen recorded Nellie Corda off of Instagram. So here we have Nellie, and now I can control her at the top and Hannah at the bottom. Again, I can maybe clear some of those lines off. We can do things like locking these two together by tapping that link icon at the bottom. So now I can control both videos at the same time. You can do overlays. The two boxes at the top allows me to actually overlay and change the, I can put these two on top of each other. Okay. So there's some pretty powerful tools in here, and I can swap these out and change them anytime I want. I tap edit. Maybe I actually want to change the video of Hannah to a down the line view. Oh, this one's stored in the cloud, so it's going to have to fetch that before it will render it in the player. Now, my internet is a little suspect living out on the sticks of Colorado. I'm in Fort Collins, if anybody knows Fort Collins, Colorado at all, but I live on a little farm there. So anyway, here's a down the line view. So now I can, literally at any point pull up a different video. Now, let me show you a cool trick too. Let's say you're working with a student, you've just taken a video of her, and you want to, maybe it's work on her hand position up at the top. Okay. Now check this out. I can tap compare. I can now tap add, and now I can tap record. So I can record a live video, and I'm going to make this a little smaller here. I can record a live video, and as soon as I hit stop, it pulls that video back into the comparison screen. It keeps the position of the original video where it's at, so that I can immediately look and compare, okay, Allison, now take that another swing, and you can look at it again without ever leaving, her previous attempt. So super powerful, neat way to use the compare feature by comparing live. Okay, let's talk a little bit about recording. Actually, let me pause for a second. Looks like we had a question in there. Oh yeah, in the reference content section regarding comparison, we do have some model videos in here. I have them down at the bottom. In fact, I can just type pro, and you'll see we've got some tennis players, we've got golfers. So not a ton, but we've got some. They're the same ones that came from Huddle Technique. You may not know we acquired Huddle Technique last year, and so we just moved those over. But you can upload or screenshot any videos you want and import them into the folder, into reference content, and use any video like I did with that Nellie video off of Instagram. Okay, so back to recording. So let's go back into Hannah's account just as an example. And I'm going to go to the library and open the video recorder. So a couple things here. To control the resolution is in the top right. So resolution 720, 1080, the frames per second, you can choose, whatever you want. We also make available the ultra wide camera. So if you're using this indoors and you don't have much distance between you and the subject, you can use the ultra wide lens, super powerful. We have a unique feature that is the plus minus button in the top corner. It allows you to control the shutter speed manually. So, what we're all looking for, and I'm going to take a minute and show you this. we're all looking for stop motion video, right? You want a clear view of the shaft, the club face, etc. Well, that happens not by using a high FPS, but by using a fast shutter speed. And because we allow you to control the shutter speed, we let you optimize for stop motion rather than optimizing for a pretty picture, which is what Apple is trying to do. So check this out. Note I'm at 720 by 30 frames per second. I'm actually going to record my hand here. And I'm just going to shake my hand a little bit like that. And you'll notice when I play this back, the motion blur of my fingers is, very evident. Okay. Well, let's go back and change the shutter speed. I'm going to reduce the shutter speed down, but I'm also going to increase the brightness. Okay. So now, and by tapping on the screen, you can focus it. So now I'm going to do the same thing. And we can say hi to my dog who's sleeping over there, by the way. But if I open up this video, check out my fingers now. In low light at 30 frames a second, my fingers are much, much clearer. So the shutter speed is an incredibly useful tool, especially when you're working in an indoor hitting bay. If you're outside in bright sunlight, it's not really going to matter that much because, the automatic aperture of the lens will take care of it in pure bright sunlight. Like that video of Hannah a minute ago, that was recorded in automatic. But anytime you're indoors, check out the shutter speed. It will remember the shutter speed setting, and it'll allow you to get incredibly good video. It's also really useful if you're in a hitting bay and you're behind the student, they're hitting out into a range. So you've got sunny outside, so it's really strong backlit conditions. You can use the shutter speed and control this ISO, which will really help you illuminate the subject. It will flash out the background, but it'll help you get a really good, clear picture. And the cameras on, an iPhone or an iPad are so much better even than the cameras that you get, with some other, dedicated apps and tools. You'll get amazing results by playing with the shutter speed and the FPS setting up here in the corner as you see fit. A couple other things to mention that will also be really useful for you is the one-tap recording. What this does is instead of the normal hit start, ask your subject to take a swing, wait for them to waggle around and take a deep breath, and you get like a 10 or 15 second video. This will allow you to simply, as the person is swinging, tap the button one time, and you'll see the pre-tap duration of 3 seconds, post-tap 2 seconds. You simply tap that button as they're in their backswing, and it will go back in time 3 seconds and wait 2 seconds. So it'll create a perfect 5-second video, all centered around the moment you tap the button. So all that dead space of them waggling around will go away. You'll be able to just tap that as they're swinging, and you'll capture a perfect 5-second clip of the student every time. Lastly, I want to mention auto detect. This uses our AI where you can set this up on a tripod, get in that screen and take a swing, and it'll automatically clip the video for you. It's like having a second set of hands, really. It's really cool in an indoor studio. You can set this up. Your subject will take a swing, and you could be connected to a TV in your studio, and it'll automatically replay the video back in slow motion. And you can just keep swinging. It'll keep watching you. I can take this to the range and hit 70 balls, and it'll capture all those swings down the line, face on. It's really powerful. And if you use it with a second camera, you'll be able to get down the line and face on simultaneously. And if you're in Wi-Fi, it'll sync both of those videos to the library so you can compare them instantly. Okay, so we've covered how to add a student and invite them, the basics of sharing, the basics of recording. Some good questions coming in here. There is a discount to Southern California PGA members. You can contact us at support@getonform.com, and we're offering 10% off our retail price. So that would come through an invoice rather than through the App Store, but just reach out to us at any point for that. Couple other things I wanted to mention before I let everybody go, or see if there's any other questions. But back in this library, part of the functionality that we also wanted to enable is, organization. So by long pressing a video, there's a few other options here in this menu. One of them is edit title. So I could say, great swing, face on. Okay. Now I can't type, so I can go back and say edit title again and edit that. Okay, how about that? Now what's powerful about this is I can go into search and type GR and it'll instantly filter to any video with, GR in it, right? Same with tags. You'll see that these are all tags, 6-iron, body track, etc. I can take any video and edit tags. Now I can say, oh, that was a 5-iron face on and they hit a fade, right? So I can easily tag this video, and when I tap in search, it will surface all the tags that you've used. So I could tap face on and it will instantly filter down to all face on videos. What's really cool about this is if I, for example, over time, I can, search all 7-iron swings and instantly compare one from, 2 months ago to today, for example. I can even go back to home, and these default folders up here, the library, all files, this is every video across all of your students in one place. So you'll see I have, like 5,000 or so, 3,000 private and 2,700 private, 3,000 shared. But I can come in here and type GR again, and it will instantly filter to everything that has that GR in it. And I think I spelled it GRE. There it is. Great swing face on. Now, when I pull up a couple videos, something that's really cool that I can do too, let's make it a little more normal. Like if I tap 6, you'll see 6-iron is there 77 times. So this is every 6-iron video that I've tagged. Obviously, mostly of me on demos in my basement. But if I tap select, and I can pick a couple videos like this, and you'll notice we can operate on videos in multiple. So when I pick a couple, down at the bottom there, the icon is share, tag, change the person that's in the video. The 2 boxes is a compare, so I could hit that, and it'll instantly pull those 2 videos in for comparison. So it's just a handy, quick way. If you're looking in the library and you see 2 videos you want to compare, you can just select them and pull them straight into the comparison. I can also, if I hit select and pick a couple of videos, we have a really powerful feature called merge down there in the bottom, and that will literally merge those 2 videos together and delete. So you can operate on videos multiple at a time. Okay, trying to keep this moving along here. Last thing I want to talk about is our voiceover capability. We spent a lot of time optimizing the ability to do voiceovers. I think others call them lessons, etc. I think you're probably all familiar with the concept. Take a video and then be able to provide feedback. So let's just do that here. And in this case, when I'm on a Zoom, I can't actually do the voiceover because Zoom isn't intercepting the video stream. So check this out. I'm going to switch over to my iPad. So you're now looking at my iPad on my desk through my iPhone. And this is also a good time to note that you can log in on multiple devices simultaneously, and videos, again, because we sync everything to the cloud, you can use multiple devices at once. So I have an iPad and iPhone, and if I scroll up, there's those videos that I just took here on my iPad, of me shaking my hand and comparing the shutter speed, etc. So let's do a voiceover because we've optimized this experience. I'm going to open up a video again. And again, I could pinch zoom or get it, positioned however I want. This is the voiceover button at the top here. So I'm going to tap that. It'll ask about a security thing about recording screen and microphone. So now when the red bar is on, it's recording everything I do. Okay. So all the drawings that I want to draw and lines and, boxes, etc. It sees all this, including, any kind of body track stuff. I'm going to compare now by tapping that. It pauses the voiceover recording and allows me to go select a video to compare to so that, you're not actually putting you going and looking for a video in the product that you're going to send to your client. So I'm going to compare to, here's a Justin Thomas video. Again, recorded this off of Instagram. So maybe I want to get it to some particular point right here. I'm now going to tap resume up in the corner. Okay, and now I can just pick up where I left off. So I'm talking and looking at his swing and doing boxes and the lines, etc. I can turn on the skeleton and take a look at that on both sides, clear this off, zoom in. I can even do the overlay while doing a voiceover. So I can, change these things. Doesn't really make sense in this view, but you'll get the idea. And again, I can, draw, pan through, undo the overlay, and check it out. I'll hit stop, and it will immediately go to a preview.
The red bar is on. It's recording everything I do. Okay, so all the drawings that I want to draw and lines and boxes, etc. It sees all this, including any kind of body track stuff. I'm going to compare now by tapping that. Okay, now I can just pick up where I left off. So I'm talking.
And so you'll see we have a seamless and instant voiceover system. So I like it. I'm going to hit save. I could give it a title like test. I don't have to give it a title. I hit save. You'll note there's no processing time. It's instantly available. You don't have to watch that preview. That's just there if you want to trim it or do anything. We assume you want to share this. So up comes our sharing panel. And by the way, any video can be shared via email as well. If I tap that little circle dot icon on the sharing panel, you'll note I can share via email. I could copy a link and just text somebody a link. But I'm just going to pick Hannah again and hit send. And that simply puts that video now in the chat with Hannah. You can see it's still syncing to the cloud, but she'll get this and then, be able to watch that video like any other video, we've done. So the voiceover process, and again, back in the library, there it is. It's now got the little circle microphone icon on it. Since you've shared it, as soon as it finishes uploading to the cloud, it'll send out the share notification to Hannah. She'll get the, pops up on her phone. Coach Gear has sent you a video. Boom, she watches it. Away you go. And this is automatically tracked. If I tap in search, one of the pre-defaults is voiceover. So I can narrow down to every voiceover I've done. So you can see all those for a particular student, over time as you accumulate them super easily. So we've tried to really optimize that the voiceover recording part. There's no processing time. It's instant. You can swap out videos. You can pause it at any time. Even if you make a mistake, you can pause it, trim the end of it, and start a new one, and then blend them together with our merge feature. So a lot of functionality there for you to explore on your own. And we've really tried to make it as seamless as we can. And basically, have a tool for you to do what you do, communicate your knowledge through video to your students so they can improve their skills and reach their true potential. All right, 33 minutes in. I think that gives you a pretty good overview. We've covered a lot of stuff, the voiceover, adding students, recording tools, organization tools. Without any other questions. Oh, Heidi has a question. Here, I'll let you ask that question and try and unmute you. See if we can pull that up. Okay, go ahead, Heidi. You're still on mute.
Heidi, you're still muted.
While we're waiting for Heidi to unmute that, one of the questions was, yeah, you can use this for any sport. Can you use it for your son's batting lessons in baseball and as a coach? Absolutely. We do have preferred pricing. So our academy subscription starts with 3 coaches. So if you have a group of 3 or more, the retail rate of that's $6.99. So you'd get 10% off that. We can put together a package for 4, 5, 6, 10 people at a time if you have a larger group or a larger academy. And we can manage that all on the back end through just direct invoices. So just contact us. And oh, by the way, the easiest way to contact us here on the home screen at the top is a little question mark. So you can hit get support. We've got our tutorial videos on YouTube, et cetera, all there for you to check out as well. Heidi.
Heidi, do you think maybe you could type your question in the chat and we'll address it since we're having trouble unmuting you?
By the way, our website is www.getonform.com. So there's a bunch more information there, pricing, examples, links to our YouTube channel, tons of stuff there too. But, let me talk also a little bit about iPhone and Android, or Apple and Android. So we've really focused on optimizing the Apple experience for coaches. So for you as a coach, you're going to have to use an iPad or iPhone, and again, you can use them simultaneously too. Our Android app is designed for your students, so it allows them to see videos, record videos, communicate with you, share video, etc. But it lacks like the fancier side-by-side and all that. So you as a coach don't have to worry if your students have Apple or Android. But we focused on the coach experience, the full experience for Apple only. We also have a web app that you can log into, so you can use your laptop or desktop, and you'll find that link off of our website. If you just click on home, and you'll see a website login as well. So you can access the videos on a web browser through Apple or through Android as needed. Heidi, I think, not sure if we're.
Yeah, Gear, I sent her a note that,
Okay.
She could just email me her question. I'll make sure that you get that. And,
Perfect.
We'll address whatever concerns or questions she has. Thank you so much. This was really informative. I know even though you've run me through this before, I've picked up some new things as well. And I appreciate everybody that took the time to be on. Hopefully you learned some things, and maybe, can find some value in this for your coaching, or maybe the coaches that are at your facility. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me or reach out to Gear directly. Their contact information is on our partner page on the website. This webinar was recorded, and we'll get it downloaded and up on our SCPGA YouTube channel, probably by the end of the day tomorrow. So if you missed anything or jumped on a few minutes late, you can catch the full recording there. All of you that are on this morning will receive 1 MSR credit, and that will be input as soon as we can. So if there's no other questions, Gear, thank you so much. Again, we're so excited to have you on board as our newest partner, and we look forward to seeing you all at our California Teaching and Coaching Summit later in the year in October. So thank you all very much, and everyone, thanks for joining us this morning. Have a great day.